Today we're going to look at the Faber Castell fountain pen in a medium. It's a Loom is the name of the model. It comes in this super cool box, the bridge on it. And you can see that it's Faber Castell Design Loom. Metallic is the color that it comes in, and this one happens to be a medium. I do like the box. Let me show you kind of when you unbox it. It has a little inner box there that also says Faber Castell. And then we will get to the inside. Now I have unboxed this before so that I could ink it for this review, but I wanted to show you it comes with a very standard, how to ink a fountain pen booklet. There's not a whole lot of specific information on the Loom model specifically. When it came in the box, I'll show you. So it comes in this little, very simple, average fountain pen box. It had, first time I've seen it after doing 100 of these reviews, it had a little tag on it like this, or this exact tag, and it was tagged into the clip, which I thought was really unique. And that just told you on the back the serial or the UPC number, and then the fact that this was a medium nib, which was, I thought, pretty classy, very nice. Now this is the metallic version. The cap is obviously bulbous, a little bit bigger than the body. What's also interesting is the finish. It's a more brushed finish here on the cap, and it's still a brushed finish, but a smoother, less metallic sort of finish on the body. Although they're the same color, you'll see this has less, I guess, metallic. It's hard to describe without but I think you can see it. Obviously this is chrome, there's no brush to that. This is definitely a brushed finish, and this is a little bit smoother. I do like the branding for Faber Castell there on the cap, you can see that. And their logo at the top, which I thought was super nice. And that's really no branding on the one end. Very simple finish, flat, kind of blunt cut finish. And then the other side, it shows their logo as well. Has a very flexible, you can kind of see, very flexible spring-loaded clip there. And when you uncap it, it's a pull-off cap. Let me tell you, this thing's stiff. I'm sure it will loosen up in time, but I haven't used it all that much yet, so it hasn't loosened up on me. But very cool looking print or engraving on the nib. Has like just a bunch of dots, which I thought was cool. And then it says M for medium, obviously printed on there. I have close-ups on my website too where you can see that. You can see that it's bulbous here, and it has some lines or variegation here, and it helps with gripping the pen, so it's not as slippery when you're writing with it, which I thought was nice. Also posts extremely well. This pen is very well balanced. You don't have any issues with it when you're writing, which I liked. And like I said, the inner cap posts onto, looks like the second or third of these little lines here, so it snaps closed like that. Actually, I took quite a while trying to unscrew it because I didn't do any research on the pen. I just bought it offline or online because someone asked me to review it, and it wasn't that expensive, so I didn't do any research. I just bought it, and then when I got it, I was trying to figure out how to uncap it, and I was unscrewing for days, and finally the body came off, but the cap never did. So I finally forced it, and it came off. But now that I know that, it's getting a little easier because I'm not scared of, stripping the threads. So I'll just go ahead and pull it off myself without, having myself. I'll go ahead and pull the cap off without having to sit here and untwist for 5 hours trying to make sure I'm not stripping any threads. I feel like because the cap is so bulbous and kind of the section here that you grip is a little bit more bulbous, I wish the nib was just a little bit wider. It feels, if you look at the size of the pen, it feels a little bit undersized nib, but don't let that steer you the wrong way in terms of smoothness. The size has nothing to do with how smooth it is. The nib is very smooth. It's very well made. At least the version that I got works very well. And I really do like the understated look of this pen. There's not a whole lot. It's not super eye-catching, but it's not gaudy either, and I really like that. It would be at home in any situation if you took it to work or you work in like a corporate office or wherever you wanted to use this pen. It's not flashy enough that I think people will, be stunned, but it's also not your typical big pen either, your throwaway disposable. So I really like the looks of it. Like I said, posted, it's very well balanced. It posts very securely, doesn't fall off, and it's not heavy at all. I don't know, it feels like aluminum. I didn't look that up. It's definitely not brass, just because it's not heavy enough. And it feels like aluminum or an alloy of some type that has aluminum in it. The caps, I guess, adds a little bit of weight, but not much. So it's still very comfortable and balanced when you're using it. So I guess we'll go ahead, and I'll show you kind of where it comes apart there so you can see the inner section. It's funny, it came with this in the barrel, but you can see there's no end on it, so it's completely decorative. I like it when they send an empty, like normal cartridge, because I syringe refill my cartridges, so I just put a syringe here in the end if you've never done that, and fill it with ink. Obviously this is for decoration only, but I think it just came in the barrel to kind of show you so that you can see that you can piggyback cartridges. If you were to buy these cartridges and put them inside, you can stack them back to back and they will still fit. So we'll go ahead and move to a writing sample now, just so you can see how the Faber Castell Loom Metallic writes. So we're going to take a look at how the Faber Castell Loom Metallic medium nib writes in this writing sample. Alright, so there's a writing sample of the Faber Castell metallic, I'll try to get it to show the nib there, metallic silver fountain pen from bestfountainpen.com. You can see that it writes very smoothly. There's no skipping. Actually, the tail on that F here at the beginning was because the shape of the book. I didn't make contact with the paper all the way down. And it writes very smooth, and this is very cheap journal paper, so it might write even better on a higher quality paper, but there's no bleeding, no smudging, no skipping, and it is a very smooth pen. It's a great value for your money. If you have any questions or you want more information on this pen, just check it out at bestfountainpen.com, and I'll have a link to the exact review in the notes below so you can see close-up photos as well. Thanks so much for watching.